Hi students, how are you? Today we can begin our next lesson, that is natural resources. And what are the resources on our earth? Land, water and air are the resources on the earth. And everything that surrounds us is termed as environment. So environment acts as a life support system for us because it is supplying us the food that we need, water that we need to drink, or air to breathe, and all other requirements of our day-to-day life. So environment acts as a life support system for us. So the resources on the earth are land, water and air. And the outer crust of the earth is called lithosphere. So the outer crust of the earth is lithosphere, which we call as land. So its upper weathered part forms the soil. So the part where land includes, it is called, or that layer is called lithosphere. Then which is the other natural resource, that is water. So the hydrosphere is the water component of earth. 75% of the earth's surface is covered with water in the form of seas, ocean, rivers, ponds, etc. And underground water forms another component of hydrosphere. Okay, the next natural resource is air. Atmosphere is the blanket of air that covers the whole earth. So which are the three layers? Lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere. Lithosphere land, hydrosphere water, atmosphere air. And living things are found where these three, which are the three? Lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere. So living things are seen, or living things exist in the place where these three exist. This life supporting zone of the earth, where the atmosphere, lithosphere and hydrosphere interact and make life possible, is known as biosphere. So where these three layers are present, these three layers interfere or interact, that layer is called biosphere. So in biosphere, these three layers interact and make life possible. Okay. Okay. Then biosphere has two components, that is biotic component and abiotic component. So biotic component means where living things exist. So living things constitute the biotic components, and non-living things like air, water, soil, all these form the abiotic component or non-living component of the biosphere. So in biosphere there are two components. Biotic components means living things and abiotic components means non-living things. So both these, that is biotic components and abiotic components, provide resources to meet the basic needs of life forms. However, the energy required for supporting these life forms is obtained from sun. So sun's energy is used in synthesis of food for all living beings. Now we can discuss about air. The gaseous envelope surrounding the planet Earth is called atmosphere. So on Earth, all living things are surrounded with air. And air is a mixture of gases like nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, then water vapor is there, dust particles is there. Okay. But in other planets like Venus, Mars and all, we can see that carbon dioxide constitute up to 95 to 97 percentage of the atmosphere in Venus, Mars and all. But in Earth, we can see it is a mixture of gases or like oxygen about 21 percentage, nitrogen about 78 percentage, carbon dioxide about 0.04 percentage and all. So on Earth we can see a mixture of gas. we can see that the percentage of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is about 0.04 percentage. Now we can look how carbon dioxide is released into atmosphere. So it is released into atmosphere by two processes, and one process is respiration. So through respiration, carbon dioxide is given out into the air. So what is respiration? It is the process in which oxygen is taken into the cells, and this oxygen breaks down the food or glucose in the cells and release energy and carbon dioxide. So oxygen will break down this glucose into what? Carbon dioxide and energy. So oxygen break down the glucose to release carbon dioxide and energy. That process is called respiration. So during respiration, what is given out? Carbon dioxide is given out. Okay. Then another process which results in the consumption of oxygen and release of carbon dioxide is combustion. So one process is respiration. That is combustion. So during combustion also carbon dioxide is given out. So during combustion or burning, which gas they are using? Oxygen is used for burning, and during burning along with smoke, carbon dioxide is released. So through these two processes, respiration and combustion, carbon dioxide is given out into the air. But we know the amount of carbon dioxide is kept constant. That means when during this process it is given out into air, but through some other process it is taken inside also. Then only percentage will be kept constant. So which are the two processes, or which are the processes for which carbon dioxide is used up? And we can see one process is photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? It is the process of preparation of food by plants. And during preparation of food, plants use which gas? They will take in carbon dioxide gas and they prepare food. And when they prepare food, along with food, they are giving out oxygen also. So during photosynthesis, plants are taking in carbon dioxide. And which is the other method for which carbon dioxide is used? Many marine animals use the carbonates that is dissolved in seawater to make their shells. So marine animals are using the carbonates to make their shells. So for that also carbon dioxide is used. Okay. So through two processes, carbon dioxide is given out. That is during respiration and combustion, carbon dioxide is given out. But carbon dioxide is used for photosynthesis and also for the building of shells in marine animals. So how much amount is given out? That much amount is again used up also. So always the amount or the percentage of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is kept constant. Our next topic is the role of atmosphere in climate control. So the role of atmosphere in climate control. We know the layer of air that covers the all of the earth like a blanket is called atmosphere. And the air is a bad conductor of heat. So the atmosphere acts like an insulator. That means it won't conduct heat. And we know during daytime the temperature will be very high. So what happens if this is the earth? The temperature will be very high outside, and heat always move from a region of higher temperature to the region of lower temperature. So what happens? Heat will move from outer space into the earth. But here this is the layer of atmosphere, and we know this atmosphere acts as an insulator, or it is a bad conductor of heat. So this layer of atmosphere prevents the entering of heat into the earth. So it prevent the sudden increase in temperature during daytime. It won't allow to enter heat into the earth. Otherwise, if heat enters into the earth, what happens? The temperature on the earth during daytime will be very high and it will be difficult for living things to live on the earth. But here the atmosphere is acting as an insulator, so it won't allow heat to enter into the earth and it won't increase the temperature during daytime. Then what is the case during night? During night, the temperature outside will be very low. So usually what happens? Heat moves from region of higher temperature to lower temperature. So heat will try to move from the earth into the outer space where the temperature is less. But here the heat can't move from the earth into the outer space. Why? Again here the atmosphere is acting as an insulator. So it won't allow heat from the earth to go out also. So it slows down the escape of heat into the outer space. So during daytime also, during night also, the temperature is kept constant. It is not, this atmosphere won't allow the heat to go out into the outer space, or it slows down the escape of heat from the earth. Okay. So atmosphere is controlling the climate on the earth. During daytime, it is not allowing heat from outside to enter into the earth, so that it won't, it is preventing the sudden increase in temperature during daytime. And during night also, it is not allowing the heat from earth to go outside, and it is preventing, or it is it is slowing down the escape of heat into the outer space. And you know, moon and earth is at the same distance from the sun. But moon does not have atmosphere. Here on the earth, atmosphere is controlling the temperature. But moon does not have atmosphere. So what will happen during daytime? Heat from outer space will enter into the moon. So during daytime, the temperature in the moon will be very high, up to 110 degrees Celsius and all. And during night, what happens? Heat from moon will go out. So it will be very cool inside the moon. So during the night, it will be very low temperature, like minus 190 degrees Celsius. So it is difficult. Living things can't survive in a climate like this. So on earth, atmosphere is controlling the climate on the earth, and life is made possible due to this. Clear now? Okay.